Welcome to the last video of 2023 for Scott Speed Shop. Hope you guys enjoy this one because it should be a pretty good one. Well, welcome back everybody. So like I said in my little pre-intro thing, you can hear the old 800 diesel warming up in the background because I got to move it because it's just a little bit close to the car we're focusing on today, which is, unfortunately, I hate to admit it, the only car I actually completely own that still runs minus that 800 right there. This one I co-own with Dad, and I'll get into why I'm saying last video 2023 later in this video. Right now we're gonna focus on having fun because we got to get that big old dog moved so we can get this one fired up, because we got some really good friends showing up today, and well, it needs to be over on the gravel. And plus, I just freaking love my 66 Dart here. One of my favorite cars, so let's get her fired up and see how she does. Every car's got a spirit, and this one just so happens to be channeled in the sense of Pabst Blue Ribbon, if you catch my drift. The old Dart, she may not be the classiest, but she is pretty neat. Come on, bad girl, come on. Okay, I got the old Dart fired up. I was expecting way too much out of this solid lifter cam 273 with its 650 Screaming Demon with no choke. It's actually pretty freaking cold out. I don't know what I was thinking it was just gonna magically fire on the first go. So I'm gonna baby this one and let it slowly warm up while the 800 diesel is still warming up, which you can't hear at all because the Dart just has the 273 in this thing. All thanks to his greatness, the Tall John, master of all ignition systems. Let's just all give him a minute to praise Tall John's Fun Shop here on YouTube. Okay, now it's that these cars warm up, and let's go have some fun when our buddies show up. Alrighty, so Dart is warming up. That's such a neat car. And of course, the 800 diesel is all warmed up for us. Which, by the way, we did get the brakes freed up on this thing. That's a video kind of in progress. You also see the paint's kind of a little bit better. We've been working on this thing and other videos. The progress are in the background, and that's part of what I'm going to be getting into later. So if you guys want to see like the updates and everything behind the scenes, that's going to be later in this video. But now, let's go move these things. All right, well, tell me if that didn't look like fun, because I haven't been able to do anything like that in forever. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I used to do yard farming in our old house in the backyard, and still, well, people got grumpy, so it's nice to feel free again to go do that kind of stuff. It's just taken me the better part of a year to feel comfortable doing that. Oh, we got the Dart out. I love seeing this car out. We're gonna go put the semi back so that way when our friends show up, they have a place to park whatever they've got on their trailer, because every time they've shown up here, they've always brought some freaking awesome Mopar. And I got a feeling today it might be the same thing. You know what I just remembered is in the trunk of the Dart is a whole bunch of its 4-speed swap stuff. And I just spun this car around. Well, close my eyes. How is it, guys? Oh, well, I'll be danged. Nothing really flew around. That's amazing. Okay, well, I'll leave that stuff in there so I can forget about it again. It hasn't flown through the quarter panel yet, so it hasn't done its job yet. You know, things never work on camera when they're supposed to. All right, you know, I figure while we wait on our friends to show up, which is going to still be a surprise to you guys who they are, I figured we'd play a little joke on them. So I know they're bringing me stuff for a car, so I thought I might offer them a trade. If you know what came in that box, I'll just show you what came in that box. Because that thing is underneath my jacket, and that is my Bill Mitchell aluminum Hemi block, which I bought for myself on my 30th birthday last year. Something that I probably didn't need to buy, and I kind of wish I had that money back right now, but I ain't parting with that thing ever. Because, yeah, that was a mark of my own success, and I'm pretty happy and pretty proud of that. But it's gonna look like I'm offering to trade this, but nobody knows besides me what's actually in that box. So we'll see if they'll take my trade. I think that's our people. Every time. It's always something different. Oh my, oh my. The last time I saw a B-body in that kind of shape, it was on back of Birdsong's trailer, and yeah, that actually looks like almost the same strap job that Chris had on that one Charger, because the hood was like delaminating. And you know what, I can't judge that car because my 64 Polara is in probably considerably worse shape than that guy. But what do you say we ought to go greet our friends, because I'm pretty sure they've got something hopefully a little bit prettier than that golden thing. This video is all about gold cars, if you can't tell. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this 68 Roadrunner might be one of the nicest cream puffs I've ever seen. Have you ever seen a floor so solid? I mean, it's like diamond plate. This is a really sweet car. I will happily trade you my 64 Polara for this, because this looks way more solid. I mean, you can only see, you get good access right here to the torsion bar support. Oh, mind me, as Mr. Ryan Barsis is here. What do you got there?
Gold slots.
Gold slots.
Told you I was going to bring you gold wheels, and I found something gold on wheels along the way.
So do I get my pick of this or that?
I guess. I think I know the right choice, though.
Yeah, you know, I think we could fix this one pretty easily, you know? I think just a little bit of buffing and a little bit of polishing and a little bit, now I'm good. Those are freaking magnificent. I don't even know how to, yeah.
So, the quick backstory on these, and I'll get the others out, is we got these from a guy that actually bought them brand new in 1973. And he bought them to go on his Dart. And when he got them new in 1973, he sent them to get gold anodized. So that's not paint or anything, that's actual anodized finish. And I bought them, I was going to put them on one of my cars, and found out the fronts are small bolt pattern. So They won't work on any of my...
And guess who just so happens in our little YouTube group has a car that still runs pathetic small bolt pattern? Oh, is it the car that maybe I love dearly and that actually still runs? It's actually the only car, but actually I take that back early in the video. The Barracuda still runs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so...
The only street car that runs.
You're one step ahead of me.
Yeah.
That's why you should go watch him. See, he's already, he's a whole, like, sentence ahead of me. So, yeah. By the way, if you don't realize that Ryan does have a channel, he does. And he brings all sorts of cool cars home. He goes on all sorts of adventures. And they just started a new little thing that I'm not going to say anything. Because they got a lot of cool shit happening.
Yeah. Typically cooler stuff than the Roadrunner. We'll
Yeah,
just leave it at that. This is the low-hanging fruit of the bunch.
This Roadrunner is like... would be like the equivalent of them dragging home my Polara if it was a 318 car.
Comparable.
We'll call that, because the last Roadrunner you brought by was way cooler.
Yeah. Yep. And then the one before that we got running. On the
Oh,
channel.
that's right. That was...
So yeah, shameless little plug back to your channel. Go watch that video too.
And then go watch your videos on it.
Yeah. Then I already sold that car. So
Yeah.
I don't even have it anymore.
And that's one of the best parts about Ryan here and his dad is when they're buying cars and stuff, they sell the stuff. Unlike when you watch my channel, you just watch me beat on it until it's more junk. And then eventually it runs, and then it breaks, and then it's running broken junk. You can actually buy their stuff.
Buy a t-shirt.
Are we both, Ryan? Ryan, are we doing this? I kind of put my shirt. That don't sound right. But anyways, enough of us rambling, because we got a yard dog over there that is screaming to be played with. That doesn't sound right. Well, we're not here for the satellite, clearly. Ryan, what are you doing to my dart?
Offering to put gold wheels on it.
Well, I think we've probably shown these things enough. Of course, people know the old dart. We've seen it rocking and rolling today. We don't actually know if these back tires are going to work because they're 29 inches tall.
29 by 9s.
29 by 9s. And we got a 275/60, which if you guys haven't ever seen up close, this rear end, we've still got to do some work and mount this stuff the right way. But when they cut the wheel wells and they put this early V-body rear end in, I'm not real sure, but I mean, it's straight. So hopefully I know we can get those fronts on. So here's to...
And the gold painted drums.
You had
meant to be.
You had to bring up the gold drums. Uh-oh.
Like the same color.
Oh, the slots don't want to go on, I don't think. That one fell over on the job. Okay, well, enough dilly-dallying. Go get the jack. Make this thing look freaking cool. So you may be asking, how on earth I'm going to be able to afford these freaking sweet gold slots? Well, I have no idea, honest to God, because I'm broke and I'm a Mopar guy, but if you guys remember, I think I may have the perfect item to trade our friends here for those gold slots. You guys want to come on into the shop? So, I have a trade for you guys. If you would be so inclined, I will trade you the contents of that box for those gold wheels.
Problem is, I don't know if it's actually still in the box.
Well, give it a kick. Feel pretty heavy?
That's the one. You don't want it. You don't want the slots instead of the Hemi, and I don't know what I would do with a Hemi. So.
Yeah, I mean, when you have an all aluminum brand new Hemi block, then you have to have aluminum Hemi prices to put it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, like, would you really want an aluminum Hemi block potentially?
Yes.
Well, go ahead. Someone take that top off. So that means we're doing a trade. Oh, what a shyster. Who would do such a thing? Go ahead and throw that top down. Go ahead, take that piece of plastic off there, or that little piece of rag. What's really in there, Ryan?
Oh, shifter handles.
And those have a special added feature for you, Ryan.
What's that?
Well,
Spark?
they glow in the dark. We got to charge them up. But
I can see that one does a little bit.
we made you a T-handle there to go on your ramrod in blue like you requested. And now you have a round ball. These are all made from the same color. So this is regular 4-speed ball.
Yep.
This is the size for the reverse on a ramrod.
Well, there you go. That's cool.
Yeah. So there you go. All you got to do is drill and tap them, which I'll give you some inserts, but. Okay, guys and gals, so we are back. And after a couple little snags, which we will overcome here pretty easily, but are you ready for the reveal? Our good friends have brought us something glorious and something great, and I am just wasting time and just teasing at what the car actually looks like because I dig the heck out of that. The internet may, I don't know, people will be, they'll love it or they'll hate it, but I freaking dig the crap out of it. I can't believe the rear slick's clear.
Not by a lot, but they do.
Yeah, not by a lot. True skinny slots in the front, small bolt pattern. 15 by 8s. Those are 8s or 7s? 7s. 15 by 7s. And then 14 by 4.5. Are those 15? Those are 15s.
15 by 4.5.
I completely forgot. Well, that is an upgrade from the little 14-inch Kraggers I had on the front.
You still got to keep the right profile of it sticking out just a little bit.
Yes, that is crucial. The rears have got to poke out. That is money. Just like the Barracuda. The Dart's almost like a little Barracuda. And then the fronts here, we're gonna need a little bit of a spacer to kick them out because the weights on the drum are hitting the wheel, but that's not a big deal.
Does that meet spec? Run out spec?
I think it does. It's only about a 1/2 inch out of spec. There might be something behind there.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty easy to come up, get across.
I think these stick out just a hair more than the Kraggers.
Really?
Go side by side. It'll be close.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, let's just be honest. The slick just looks way better in general.
It does.
Yeah. The Goodyear slick at that.
No idea how old those are.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're older than both you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Ryan, thank you. You really made my day, man. Those wheels are freaking sweet. And you gave me a good reason to get the Dart out.
Well, once I figured out their small bolt pattern, and I knew somebody that had a car that they would probably fit pretty good on, so.
Oh, hell yeah. I like them. Now we just need to buy some tires and get to working on the old Dart again here soon. But, of course, guys, if you want to see more on Ryan and his dad's adventures and all the cool stuff they get, you need to go check out their channel. It is simply just Ryan's name. But I think we're going to about call it for the day here because we have an update section of the video that I told you we were going to do. And I think it's time we do that update. Ryan, you got anything to say to my viewers?
No, that's about it.
That's it?
That's it.
Now go check out my channel. It's freaking sweet.
Check out my channel, and if I'm not in the video anymore, bye-bye.
There we go. All right, guys. Now to the serious part. Well, there they go. Ryan and his dad hauling that 68 Roadrunner on home. Those are good people. And if you guys want to know what I was talking about when I said like the serious part of the video, it's thanks to those guys. Seriously, go check them out. Just subscribe to them because without them, we wouldn't have this video today. And the reason why I say we wouldn't have this video today is because, well, everything that I've worked on here recently has just gone horribly wrong. Plans have not gone according to plan even slightly. Hang on. That's the fastest that Roadrunner's gone probably in 30 years because it's sat for probably God knows how long. But anyway, seriously, go watch those guys and please show them some love and support. They're wanting to get their channel going and they've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I talked to them about it, so yeah, seriously do. And plus, they're part of our little YouTube group that we hang out with at No Name Nationals, Indie Swap Meet, all those places. So you really can't lose. So why was this potentially, or why is this the last video? So let me just get into it. The first big hurdle, I'm just gonna spoil this for you guys. the last set of videos I planned on making for this year, because we're almost 800 videos, we're almost to 30,000 subscribers, thanks to you guys, it was gonna be this car right here. Bringing back my high school car. And we've actually got everything cleaned up in the oil pan. We did all of that stuff last weekend, freezing cold, miserable, but we got it done. And I was in the middle of making this video, which was gonna be a 2 or 3 part series to cap off the year. And again, went to go prime oil in this engine and I got nothing. And it's just the wrong time of year. It's winter, it's holiday season. We're in the middle of December. This was a weird day where it's gonna be nice, and luckily Ryan and his dad were coming down. So I was able to make this video for you guys. So please thank them. But no, unfortunately, I don't know what's gonna happen with the Satellite's 451 stroker. We're gonna have to delve a little bit deeper, figure out why we're not getting oil pressure. We tried priming up, got a brand new pump, new everything on there as far as oiling system, and we blew it out. We had pressure, we had air going through the whole system. Why we can't get it to shoot oil out of it, I don't know. I've actually got the whole oil fitting off the back of the block and just open. And I figure it's actually probably just easier to show you. So we've got our priming setup right here. I actually have that whole fitting in the back of the block completely out. You can't see it, but it won't shoot no oil. I can feel it push a little bit of air, but I can't get it to shoot oil. So we got to delve a little bit deeper in the Satellite's engine, and yes, it has oil. I checked. I promise that would be the shits. All this and it didn't have oil, but I promise it has oil. And that's a video series we're working on. I don't want to give up on the Satellite, but it's one of those things where it kind of kicked me in the butt because I planned on doing it, but it's just fighting me. Oh, the dart. Oh, thank you, Ryan, again. That looks so sweet. But let me go show you another project that kind of derailed us a little bit. And it's not really the Polara's fault. This is part of the problem. We moved to this new property just the beginning of this year, and I haven't really had time to get everything set up like the old place. The welders aren't set up. We don't have a way to move things around too good. We are still basically moving into this place, and I went from the old house, editing videos in my bedroom till the last day we moved, to basically in here, editing videos and working every day this week, or every day this year, to try and keep videos rolling on my old schedule. And unfortunately, that's not working out too good. And that's why I say this is gonna be serious, because next year I'm thinking either rebranding the channel to get away from 100% cars, maybe do some of our other hobbies. Like this channel is meant to just have fun and make memories with my loved ones, my friends, and my family. And we're just so 100% cars right now and on a schedule that this feels like a job, and I don't want it to be a job. I want this to be me having fun, you guys having fun watching, and not a freaking job. But the Polara, the floors are a lot worse than they appear. Like this looks fairly solid. That's not too bad over there, but I mean all of this is just rotten. This is flimsy. All of this has to be replaced, and this is one of those things where I'm gonna have to take time to set up welders and get all my fabrication stuff figured out, because I ain't got any of that set up. Oh God. Yeah, the player's a little angry. So I can't say exactly when the next set of videos are going to be. It's going to be just kind of whenever they show up in 2024. With, if we decide to change the channel name or anything, I don't know. But the Polara is a big project, and I know some of you may have seen it for sale, and you may have seen me think about selling it. And I was pretty certain I didn't want to finish this project because this is a big amount of work. This, when it's got rot up there and rot back here, it's one thing, but when you get underneath the seats, I start to get a little bit worried because, well, I don't want to get these holes in the wrong place, and it's just a lot of work for me, and I don't have the money to buy a full floor pan if I could even find one. And I don't want to cut up a nice car to get parts for this one, but I'm going to fix this one, and it will be done. I will not give up on my Polara, because this car I think is worth doing, even if it means I got to be broke while I put it together, and put it together my way. The best way I can, I should say. And of course, before I go in the shop and tell you something else, my Duster, which is covered, this is now the problem with its project and what's stalling it out. Okay, now we're in the shop and it's warm. Oh, that's so much nicer. Oh, that's warm. I like that. So here's the 340 that Tall John and I put together in a video series. And this is something I still need to get dynoed, and I need to get the whole front dress changed, just having time to get all that stuff done. One of the issues we found with this engine is it's a 1967 model 340, and you'll be like, they never made such a thing. And you would be right, and I would show you the casting date, but it's on the other side of the block. This thing was cast really late in 67, and I do believe, I know it's got a real 340 crank, but it uses the 273 pilot hub, so it uses a different style converter. And I remember when we put this converter on, we had to grind down the hub to get it to fit in the back of the crank. So I don't know what that's going to take. I need to call someone like Mr. Cope to see about a converter, but got to have money to dyno this daggone thing so we know what kind of converter to get. And of course, that's something I need to touch on real fast. The reason why I want to dyno this 340 is not to find out how much horsepower it makes, it's to tune it and to figure out where the power band is so we can spec the torque converter perfectly instead of guessing. Because converters, once you get above a 3000 stall, get kind of expensive. And I imagine that thing's going to need something just a little bit healthier than, say, a 2800 street stall. But of course, I can't forget Jezebel right there. Some of you might be wondering when I'm ever going to get to work on this car and bring her back to life, because at No Name Natural she grenaded the output shaft on her 18 spline 4-speed. And well, the thing is with Jezebel is I've got a million projects all torn apart, and I really don't want to tear Jezebel apart until I'm ready to work on her. So those of you who want to see her get done, please be patient. I'm just one guy primarily. I got Anna who comes over after work, and then Dad comes home when he gets off of work. And I mean, we're just doing the absolute best we can with what we got in the little bit of time we do get. So now let's go show you one last thing on the Polara. And when I say one last thing on the Polara, I actually mean the Corone 383, which you'll see a cylinder head here, a rocker arm, another cylinder head, and another rocker arm, and the actual engine sitting right here. So I appreciate everybody leaving me comments telling me how dumb I am. Those were pretty awesome. Pretty sure the problem with that last video with this engine, which if you're not familiar, the last engine we tried to get running on this stand here is this 383 my buddy Mike Corone brought me. I messed up in the editing. The whole last part of that video is screwed up, and that is on me. I promise you guys, I know how to set up ignition timing and know when valve events are happening and all that stuff. I promise. I did everything the right way. I know in that video it may not seem like it, but that is the editing. I am not the greatest editor. I literally use an old version of Windows Movie Maker to put these videos together. Nothing fancy. But I want to show you, this engine was actually supposed to be the next video, but I don't think we're getting it together as easy and as fast as we wanted because she's a little worn out. Now, I'm not saying we can't do nothing with this. I talked to Mike, he's got some pretty good ideas, but yeah, you can see that ring ridge right there. This engine's basically bored itself out 10,000ths. I measured it, I mic'd the bores, and yeah, they're basically 10,000ths over. And we did put the timing chain in right, I will say that. We put it dot to dot, which means it's firing number 6. And when it's firing number 6, that means it's going to backfire because your distributor's 180 out. And that's something we did in the video. We intentionally set the distributor 180 out, and then it popped through the carburetor, and you take the distributor out and you flip the rotor bug 180 degrees over here, and now it's firing number 1 instead of number 6. And another thing I'll touch on is on a big block Chrysler, this is number 1 cylinder. Driver's side, most forward cylinders, number 1. There was a couple of comments, people, I think Ford guys and stuff, didn't quite know we were working on a big block Chrysler, knew where number 1 was. But yeah, so every bore on this engine is like 10 over, more or less, and all the rings are stuck. This thing turns ridiculously easy. I mean, it's like the Pro Stock, like you gave it one wink of the wrench and it rotates itself. So there's that issue. It had massive blow-by, and all of the valves were leaking by. I tested them in a video, and that's for that video, and all the valves are leaking like a mofo. So to you guys, if this thing was gonna run, it would have ran just like I said, like a Detroit, but we would have cranked it a whole lot longer. And I also want to touch on the starter for this engine was one of my super awesome little PowerMaster XTs that was on the Pro stock. It's now on the 340. Yeah, we never did really crank this thing over a minute, and I know it seems like that's a long time, but we were desperate, we're headstrong, we wanted to make this thing run. But yeah, so this was another one of the videos that was going to be finishing out this year, hopefully getting this thing back together. But again, this was one of those projects that just kind of, it needs a little more than the series really demanded for the time constraint I gave myself. And it's all my fault. I pushed myself a little too far, guys, trying to get these videos out as soon as possible and trying to make content, and I just can't. I literally just can't get myself to do it. So we're going to slow down and we're going to focus on making better videos and having more fun. Like today, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I know I had a heck of a time making it. At least I hope so. I hope it shows through. And I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself this far, because, well, I think you should have. But I think that's going to basically close us out. We got to play, we got to drive the Dart, we got to have fun with it, we got to hang out with our friends, we got to drive the 800 diesel. We've gotten to dig out a bunch of our cool parts and play practical jokes on people. So, as always, guys, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking with me. We're 29,000 subscribers strong, almost 800 videos, and we have plenty of projects, plenty of stuff coming up in the near future. So, as always, guys, I'd like to thank you for checking this one out, and I look forward to seeing you guys next year with all the projects and hopefully getting the rest of our stuff running, rocking, and rolling. So, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great holiday season, a happy new year, be safe, please, and most of all, take care, and bye-bye. And don't forget, if you want to buy a Scott Speed Shop shirt, link is in the description below. Bye-bye.